All right, so I've got a little bit of a long-winded TED talk of a cold open going on here, but it's kind of an important one for like an FYI for people. So I've had skin problems for like months at this point. It started a couple years ago where like I had to stop using scented soaps, like scented laundry soap, because I don't know, my skin was just getting terrible. Like I've got a couple spots on my leg where they took skin grafts to put onto my arms and shit. So like those spots get really bad. And so I ended up like going to the doctor at one point. This was like a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. And I'm like, what is going on with my skin? And one of the things that like I brought up was like, hey, could this be parasites? Like my aunt had just gone through like an ivermectin cleanse and she like passed a ton of parasites. And she basically like laughed at me and scoffed, like, oh, you don't have people in America don't get parasites. That's ridiculous, type of thing, you know? And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll just take the fucking horse paste for that. So I end up taking the horse paste for that, and lo and behold, passed a bunch of fucking parasites, you know? And anyways, like as far as the skin thing goes, she prescribed me like she gave me like an antifungal and then also like a steroid essentially to put on, and neither of them worked. Like it just nothing was working. I ended up like putting ivermectin on the rash at one point, and it started to work for like at least a week. It was starting to work, and then it just like stopped and everything came back again. And finally, like I was consulting ChatGPT on this thing because my doctor's clearly worthless and I can't figure nothing out. And it asked me what kind of soap I was using, and I took a picture of the hemp soap that I use, and it was like, "Oh yeah, that's got scents in it." Like it says all natural, but it's not. And I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." So I switched to a scent-free soap, and it's going away.
What
Like
what was the brand?
Avena. Oh, of the hemp? I don't remember.
Yeah, the stuff that had, s
It was like
scents in it.
it was like a hemp and sea salt type thing. It says like all natural on the fucking deal, and like I don't know, it didn't have a strong scent to it. Like I figured it was just like a natural scent that came with
Yeah.
it. And I don't know, man. I ended up switching to this Aveeno like oatmeal scentless stuff, and it's going away. And it just pissed me off that like the doctor told me that like there's no way I have parasites, which she was clearly wrong, and I had to take dog medication or horse medication to get rid of that. And also the easiest possible thing, she didn't ask, what kind of soap are you using? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was just so annoying, like, these fucking doctors, man, and the cream that she was prescribing me is like $50 a pop.
Oh, there you go.
Great, you know?
Yeah.
Great, right? So, anyways, that's my TED Talk for today. I don't know what else to say about it except fuck your doctor, you know? Like, these
Yeah.
freaking people, are so corrupt, and they're so, like, captured by big pharma that there's just really nothing that can be done for them. I don't know what else to say about them. They're horrible people.
Bastards.
Yeah,
Alright, I got one, then we can cue.
sure.
I so between Christmas and New Year's, I got pretty sick. I, came out of it like, the first call I took after all of it, I took an investor call, and I shit the bed so bad on the investor call that the person who set it up called me after. He's like, "Dude, are you alright?" Like, I just wasn't there mentally. And for weeks after, I was just fucking tired. All I wanted to do is sleep, sleep, sleep. And I'm like, I can't be sick anymore. So I went and got my testosterone levels checked,
Mm.
and they were fucking low. So I got set up, I got the testosterone. It came, it's in a dark bottle where you can't really see what's going on in it. Put the thing in, pulled it out to the 30 or whatever, put it in my leg. I'm like, oh, that was easy. It doesn't even hurt. Took another one. Then I took a third one. I'm like, man, this just doesn't seem to be doing anything. And the needle didn't even meet the stuff in it. So I was putting fucking air in my muscle. Just
Oh my god.
so yesterday I got the testosterone in and man, I felt like I did cocaine.
You
I
just
was just
rock
like,
hard right
oh,
away.
oh, oh no, I wasn't rock hard right away, but man, I was like, oh, let's start a bar. This shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been taking testosterone supplements for like a month and a half now. It says on the bottle you should take them for 3 months, and I'm kind of thinking that that's a scam. Like, hey, buy
Yeah.
this for 3 months before you realize that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right, let's hit it. What's going on? It's time for another episode of Too Hard for the Radio, transmitting from the future free state of Greater Idaho. I am the one-armed madman, and back with us this week from Music City, America, it's Daniel Steele. Dan,
So-
pleasure as always.
Soon to be from Goodlettsville, Tennessee.
Oh, Goodlettsville. That sounds like fun, huh? Yeah,
yeah.
your property's freaking awesome, man. I sent it all.
Yeah.
I sent it over to my family and friends, and they're like, "Fuck, we can't get that here."
No, I think that so I made an offer 6 days after it got on the market, and they accepted it because I just offered what they're asking for it.
Oh, really?
But like land like that just isn't available around here. It's a half hour from the city, and the main thing about once you get a half hour out in the city, out of the city, it's all just cliffs. Like maybe a little bit of buildable space. And I guess this property, somebody owned it. The house burnt down, so it was all laid out. Then the dude before me bought it, put up that shop, and
Hmm.
now I'm picking it up and gonna do some shit with it.
Does the shop have like living space in it?
No, not yet. What I'm doing is buying, uh, I guess, a cabin from the Amish,
Nice.
and I'm put where the shop doors open. I'm putting concrete in between. I'm gonna face it up to the cabin. Then I'm gonna build a structure between the two. So the shop has wood burning stove. The cabin's warm, and it's usually pretty nice anyway in Tennessee. So I'll have like a greenhouse roof and just like a massive living area out in the middle too.
Oh, cool. That's gonna be sweet,
Yeah,
man. Are you
yeah,
gonna live there full time?
yeah.
It'd
Yep. I
be nice to
like,
get out of the city.
yeah, and it like solar is only like 6 or 7 grand.
And there
So
should
I'm gonna
be
be.
there's utilities out there, right? And I mean, there's houses on either side of it. And, oh, you said the house burned
Oh, it
down
has
before,
power
so it
already.
has everything.
Yeah, it has power, but I wanna I'll be completely off grid right when I move in. So that's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, man. I fucking love it. It's a nice piece of property. It's a good size. It's not too much to take care of, because you're a busy guy. It's not like you're gonna be outside working on the property all day, every day. So I grossly overestimated or underestimated how hard it was gonna be to take care of a half an acre by myself.
Yeah, and the nice part about it is, so like when you pull up to the gate, the driveway goes down, but like next to the gate and everything is kind of set up. All that area is just perfect for garden with the way the sun goes and
Mhm.
everything. And then the woods, I can just leave them the woods. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't have to care for 2 acres. I just have to care for my little space there, and then we can put. I want to put a gun range in the back and shit,
Oh,
but
hell yeah. Is there like
yeah.
a backstop, like a hill or something like that? It looks like it's pretty flat.
There is no, it's not. Once you get out of that flat area where the house is, it goes down. So,
Hell yeah.
the problem is there's an easement on it for somebody who owns property behind it, which is
Mm.
fine, just a little road that goes back. And I'm like, oh, these people never come, or I had never seen them, so I'll just shoot that way. And it turns out they live back there, so I can't just be shooting towards where they drive.
Yeah. Yeah. I put a tough shed in my backyard like a couple weeks ago now, and it's a nice shed. I think my neighbor hates it, which is great. I haven't heard from him
Perfect.
since I put it in, and his yard's fucking shit. Anyways, he's got like a trailer, a motorhome, a boat, like it's all packed into his backyard. It looks like shit. Like he's always parking cars on his lawn to work on it. Like he's just a piece of shit, but everybody else is the problem. And,
Yeah.
anyways, I'm getting power ran to it from my garage. I already had power in my backyard. The people that owned this house before me, like, had a RV spot set up in the back, so it had 220 in the backyard already. So I'm just going from like where they had their power to the shed, and it's probably like, I don't know, 30, 40 feet, something like that. But I decided to dig the trench because I didn't want to pay the electrician to dig the trench because it would have been a shitload more money. And
Yeah.
so like yesterday, I guess it was day before yesterday. Sorry, just took a drink and I'm gonna fucking hiccup on you. Like day before yesterday, he's like, "Hey, is it cool if I come out tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Fuck, man, I'm not quite done with the trench yet." He's like, "Ah, we'll just see what we can get done." And so he comes out, and I'm like, "All right, I'll get the trench finished." Like I started working on it in the morning, and he showed up a lot earlier than I thought he was going to, and I just basically destroyed myself working on this trench yesterday. And I got to within like having like 5 feet to go. And he comes out, he like wired up the shed and everything like that. And he comes on, and he's like, "All right, I think I'm just gonna call it for the day." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I just killed myself trying to finish this trench for you. Like, god damn it." And he's like, "Ah, well, I won't come back till Thursday or Friday, so you'll have some time to finish it." But anyways, my neck is
Is that
just
where the root was?
yeah, that's where all the roots were. Like, dude,
How are you dealing with that? You just
uh
got to cut it out.
yeah, just cutting them out. Like, I was using a Sawzall at first, but, like, dude, a Sawzall just really destroys my hand. Like, there's
Yeah,
so much vibration, and I don't, like, have a way to brace it very well, so I kinda have to, like, brace it with my foot on the root, and it just wasn't working great. I had a pickaxe. I have, like, a pickaxe that has, like, an axe blade on the backside of it, so I was using that for a while, and that was just tearing me up too, like, it was hurting my shoulder, and just wasn't going well, and I went and I bought, a hatchet, like an 8-pound hatchet, and it was like a nice heavy hatchet, and that's been the best route for me so far,
yeah.
so that's kind of what I've been using, but, like, dude, you saw the pictures, like, some of these roots are, like, 6 inches, 7 inches. They're just freaking massive, and they're crisscrossing all over each other, so you have to, like, trace them back to where ugh, it was an absolute nightmare, but yeah, I, like, pulled a muscle in my neck yesterday, and my neck is just freaking killing me.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'll give you an update on AI. I'm actually kind of fucking blown away. So it was 2 Fridays ago. These investors asked me for just an updated financial forecast. Pretty straightforward. I paid for the service, and I log in, and they're like, "You need to renew. It's $5,000 a year." Like, man, this kind of like I've been using it for 11 months or whatever. Didn't really utilize it because it was like complicated. Yet you have to pay extra to have somebody help you use it. I'm like, I bet I could build something after watching people doing vibe coding and shit. I bet I could build something that's better than this. So I sat down. 4 hours later, I spent $200 in AI credits, which it could have been done cheaper. I just didn't know. Like I had to figure it out. And I had it completely rebuilt with functionality where investors could go in and tweak things and see how much money gets left, change the rate of growth, change how much shit costs. And it was all done in 4 hours. So I was like, fuck, what else are we paying for? And we pay for it's called Pipe Drive, and you just keep track of your sales. And I'm like, I wonder if I can do this. Did that. And so now we're looking at all of the software that we pay for, and we're just rebuilding it. And it'll cost like $10 a year to run each application.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
I was fuck
necessity is what do they say? Like, necessity is, the
the
something
mother
for
of
the mother
invention,
of
something like
invention.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you find a that's why the free market is great, the government
Yeah.
just throws money at people and says, "Solve this problem," when there's no incentive to really solve the problem except for
Yeah.
collecting the money, where you've got an entrepreneur who is, faced with a problem that they can't really pay for, and you find a way around it, and, like, that's the
Yeah.
beauty of the free market.
Yep. Um, so what we're doing now, so the way that we do what we do is instead of using like Anthropic or OpenAI or any of those, we take an open source model and then we tune it for you with your data, and then you just kind of own a machine that
Mhm.
does all your AI. There's not a coding model yet that works in that format, but it's getting close. So I think in 6 months we'll be at a point where we have a coding model that's equal to what Anthropic's doing today. So in 6 months or so, when you log into our platform, the way our platform works is you connect all the data that runs your business. You use an AI that's private, so all your data is not going out to the, open AI or Anthropic or whatever. And so in 6 months, you'll be able to do all that with your own private model, but also you'll have a model that does coding. So you'll be able to come into our platform and be like, oh, I want uh, a dashboard that pulls in my financials and then it all just shows up. So instead of these big companies like Salesforce, shit like that, where they build software and then they make you pay to get somebody to integrate your shit with their software and kind of make it work for you, people will be able to log in and just build what they need given their data. So I'm pretty excited about where it's going.
That's pretty cool, man. I would
Yeah.
imagine that shit like this is happening all over the sector where you've got these big companies that are kind of controlling everything right now because they were the first to kind of launch these large language models and they're kind of cornering, the market at this point. But there's got to be other entrepreneurs out there like you that are figuring out how to make this work for narrowed purposes where these, big AI companies, they're trying to do here's you can do anything on this. You can ask it
Yeah.
about your soap or you can ask it to do your financials and like the more broad you make these things, the more data that they have to crunch, the slower and the less accurate they're going to get. Where if you can train something to be narrowly tailored for the exact purpose that you want it for, it's going to be faster and more accurate.
Yeah. And your data's not going to this
Yes,
other company. Yeah.
exactly.
That's the big part.
And, like, we
I
need to get to a point where our data is viewed as the product, Like,
that's
right
what it's becoming.
it is, like,
Yeah.
right now, people view, like, Amazon, "Oh, they just I just buy my stuff from them." Well, no, not exactly, like, sure, you buy your stuff from them, they send it to you, but they're also taking your habits, your likes and your dislikes, and they're modeling this to create better advertising models, to create better, ways to show you what product to buy. Like they are using their data to extract more money from you. And
Yeah.
like we need to start looking at this as like, hey, you are the product. Like Amazon, the product is not whatever I bought some hot tub equipment on it,
Yeah.
the other day. Like that's not the product. The product is knowing that I have a hot tub, and knowing that okay, you've got a hot tub, you've bought this for it, you bought that for it. Maybe you need this for it. Maybe you need that for it. And it's getting you to buy more and more things. And like I hope that in the future we live in a world where you can choose like, hey, if I'm gonna be an Amazon customer, I can choose to keep my data, which is very hard to prove that they're doing, like how are you going to keep them from scrubbing your data? I'm not really sure, but you should be able to get like a discount based on, hey, you can take all the data you want from me as long as I get 10% off on everything I buy. Will they
Yeah.
raise their prices 10% and then give you the discount? Sure, but at least it's, something moving in the right direction.
Yeah, two things. One, WhatsApp is definitely getting tracked down for ads. I was talking with my buddy today and I told him about TRT. He opened up Facebook and it had a TRT ad. He had never received a TRT ad. Two, quietly, TikTok is a lot of what gets sold on Amazon, Amazon doesn't own. So you upload your product to Amazon, maybe you have them do the fulfillment, whatever. They don't own it. TikTok Shops platform is is really evolving.
That's their
And
main line of business is selling shit.
yeah, so and they have an AI built into the platform. My wife is working on getting the supplements up there, or actually starting to getting ordered like way more orders than like Facebook ads and shit like that. Um she's starting to like figure it out. It's really they have like 5 different apps if you want to sell shit on there. It's not easy, but she got into a place in TikTok today that tells you what words to use in your videos
Oh, wow.
to get the most views. So TikTok's out there mining all the data from the videos
Mhm.
and stuff, and they're like, okay, here are the words that you can use, and it'll hit the algorithm, and it'll your product will be presented faster. You know, that's not even the paid ads. That's just do a video like this, and we'll show it to more people.
Yeah, of course they know all of that stuff. They'd be
Yep.
stupid if they didn't, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a massive, like it's not even data scrubbing to some point, it's like a human behavior model in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. Like, this is how humans act, this is how they behave, and this is how to best manipulate them into making money for us, or
Yeah.
or
And even
monetizing
though
our
like
customers.
even though Larry Ellis owns it with a group of investors, it was still built by the Chinese, so it's
Mhm.
very,
Very
um,
intrusive. Has to be.
intrusive, and they just demand compliance from you.
Mhm.
Um, so it's like, "Hey, little person, you're gonna do this because I want you to do it." And
Yeah. And
it's
all that stuff's
it's really
baked into
funny.
the algorithm, and Larry Ellison
Yep.
didn't get rid of the algorithm because that's what
Nope.
made it famous.
Yep.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
if you do something like you ship it a couple days late or something, they make you do a quiz, and it's like just really like you're gonna do this because you need to make the TikTok
Uh-huh.
overlords happy.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
That's something. Man, the Chinese are, they don't fuck around, you know?
No.
They
No,
don't
they don't
fuck
fuck around
around.
at
Like,
all.
they really don't fuck around. Like, as fucked up as our government is, goddamn, the Chinese don't fuck around. Like, we are quite lucky that at least to this point they aren't like super into violent imperialism the way the United States government or the Israeli government is, you know? Like if they were into violent imperialism, the third world would have a real big fucking problem on their hands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're more tactful.
Yeah,
They just come in and they're
soft
like, "Hey,
power.
we'll loan you $2 billion for
Mhm,
an airport. Oh, you didn't pay for it. It's ours now.
mhm.
So now we have an airport in Africa or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah,
To
it's a smarter way to control people, right? Like
Yeah.
incentives always work better than punishments, you know? That's the way you train a dog is not through punishment, it's through incentive. You give them treats instead of
Yeah,
give them
I
boots,
disagree.
you know? Like, maybe sometimes the boot works, but a lot of times the treats work better than the boot, but, you know, who knows?
No, I well, not the boot, but we got really in because our my older dog, really sweet dog, great dog, but like he's still a pit bull. He still has it. So like
Yeah.
we take him to the park and he just wouldn't come back.
Mhm.
So we had to do something. And honestly, the only way to that I believe to effectively train a dog is with a shot collar.
Mm.
And not like, oh, I'm mean. Like they train
Boundaries.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
that
I
could be true.
yeah.
I've never liked the shot collar idea. I've never used one before. Your
Well,
dogs are
when
gonna
used properly, we got trained. Our dog didn't.
yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, what the dog whisperer always says is he trains people, not dogs, you
Yeah.
know?
And we got trained.
Your dogs are gonna love that property, having some room to run around and shit.
Oh, yeah, and we're gonna build a sick dog run for him too,
You
so he
know,
can just go fucking chill.
one of the things that I don't know if you watched, the last episode of Legion of Skanks, the one at the stand that was Dave's last episode. They were
I
reading
fell asleep during it.
Okay, they were reading out of Lewis's book, and he was talking about when he bought a Jack Russell Terrier when he lived in Brooklyn. And somebody was like, "Dude, you bought a dog that required a small farm, not a small apartment." I was like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about there."
I don't you go to New York and you see these people walking around with Great Danes,
Yeah, it's
and
cruel.
I have no idea how they well, I guess Great Danes are fucking dumb, but German
Mhm.
Shepherds and shit too. I have no idea how they do that.
No, it sucks. Like Ozzy would go crazy if he couldn't run outside all the time. Like I've
Yeah.
got a dog door for him, and anytime somebody walks by or rides a bike by or something like that, he's outside barking at him, running up and down the yard. Like he goes outside probably 20 times a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
burns a
would
lot of
drive me fucking
energy.
nuts.
He yeah, well, you get used to it. Or, you know,
Yeah.
it's I like these types of dogs. We've had them since I was a kid, so you kind of
Oh, yeah,
it's
no,
like the
I'm sure,
charm
like,
about them, you know.
my dog's a sheriff too. Like, we had to fucking, sew our curtains together so he couldn't get out and view the front window.
Huh.
Yeah, that if that yeah, I'd kill my dog. Not
O
kill him, but
Ozzy, like, he used to hang out on, a beanbag cushion in my dining room that I was never using. Like, I just had a beanbag there at the window so he could lay on it and, like, look out the window, and then I turned that room into a bedroom, and he had, like, PTSD for, like, 2 weeks from not being able to go lay on his cushion. Like, he couldn't figure out where he wanted to lay and look out the window. Like, he's
yeah.
got a new spot now where he lays. It's a different cushion looking out a different window. But it took him a while to kinda realize, like, "Hey, you can't go in there anymore." He was all bummed.
Any, new interesting updates from tenants?
No, things have been
Hmm?
pretty smooth lately
Ah,
for the most part. Like I've got one guy who's behind on his rent, but you know, I gave him some
that's
time to
got to
do
be
it.
weird.
Yeah, it is.
Like no, for him, like unless he's just a scumbag and he spends his money, but like knowing you owe this dude money and he's there,
Yeah,
as opposed to like if you're past due on rent or you're renting an apartment and
yeah,
somebody's not there with you all the time.
yeah.
Does he
Every
just
time
like
he,
kind of stay in his room and
yeah. I mean,
not
he kind of
address
does
you?
that anyways, though.
Okay.
But I'm always kind of like looking at his grocery bags when he walks in. Like, oh, what are you
Oh, well,
spending money on in
organic,
here?
huh? Yeah.
I hope you're not
Yeah.
ordering DoorDash because that would be not cool. But he finally got a job, and he quit his job a while back. He was like a cableman, and he quit his job to be a day trader. And I'm like, dude, you're trading
You're
in a bull market right now. Like you have no idea what it's going to be like when the markets take a shit. So like I would be careful about quitting your job. And yeah, it turns out he's not a day trader.
and now people are building bots that are just incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing it on Polymarket where dude like turned $1,000 into $100,000 in a week, and he didn't even touch it. Like doing Bitcoin options, I guess
Yeah.
there's a little lag between the Bitcoin update and the Polymarket pipeline, so it's exploitable. But it's not so exploitable that Polymarket has done anything about it.
I saw that I saw on Twitter today $580 million oil trades made minutes before Trump's key Iran announcement.
Oh yeah,
People just got
yes.
lucky, apparently.
I saw people saying, you know, this is how you trade macro. Sometimes announcements happen. They probably didn't know anything. And it wasn't just an oil trade. So like they moved they moved their position in oil because they knew it was going to go down. And then they bought a really big position in the stock market, which also went up. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw that
Okay.
too. It was like, oh, it turned out to be 1.5 billion move essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
No relation to the
our
to
government's
our
not
royal
corrupt at
family.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's such a nightmare. There was one thing that I wanted to bring up on the show that like we kind of talked about yesterday that I guess you maybe you weren't aware of, but like people think like, well, this oil embargo on the Strait of Hormuz, it doesn't matter to us because we're a net oil exporter.
Yeah.
And what people don't really understand is that we don't refine the oil that we mine or that we drill for in the United States. We don't have the refineries for it. We built refineries for oil that comes from the Middle East and comes from like Russia. And so, like, we actually export all of our oil to be refined elsewhere. It's not because, like, we're exporting what we don't use. And I think that's a big distinction that people kind of miss. They go, oh, we're a net exporter. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, we export more than we use by a small amount, a small margin, but we're not exporting the extra that we don't use. We're exporting everything. Some of it goes to Canada, some of it goes to South America, some of it goes over to the Middle East and Europe. Like it's the most inefficient system you can imagine. And like I was kind of asking ChatGPT about it, and then ChatGPT's like, "Oh, well, it would cost a lot of money to make these refineries." And it's like, yeah, and it would also like halt a lot of the shipping traffic that we have to pay for to move this oil around. And the amount of money that it costs to build an oil refinery in this country is a self-imposed problem. We
Yeah.
can build for cheaper and we can build faster if we wanted to, but we don't. We don't want to build things in this country. Regulations and red tape make it impossible to build, and that's just the way it is. So we ship our oil somewhere, people ship theirs over here. It's moving all around the world before it finally gets refined in the area that's going to use it, and it's just an absolute joke.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was like that. I was just like, "Oh, we're a net
Yeah,
oil exporter, so why does this affect us?"
yeah, yeah. It's fucking stupid.
I wonder what the unit economics are on that. So, like, how much do we spend sending the shit that we can't refine off somewhere?
I don't know.
And how, how much does an oil refinery cost if we're not letting terrorists fucking burn them down?
Yeah, it's one of those things where those are numbers that nobody wants to know. You know,
Yeah.
you just kind of keep those, you keep those, like most people, if you would ask most people in this country that know anything about oil, they would say, like you did, we're a net exporter. This doesn't affect us. We've got our own oil. Yeah, we do. But because we live in a globalist economy, like everything just, it's a big clusterfuck, where if we would just invest in building a couple refineries on the east and the west coast and maybe some in Texas, like we wouldn't have to deal with any of this shit. We could,
Yeah.
refine all of our own oil and use it for our own purposes and export what we don't use. And it would be
Yeah.
great, but we can't do that. That would be smart, and
Yeah.
there's no money to be made on the back end with shit like that because now you've got shipping companies. Imagine what it would do to some of the shipping companies in this, in this country. It would cut down a ton of shipping. So those are going to lose out. You've got unions and you've got, what do they call them? Lobbyists who are going to freak out. And it's just one of those things where it's never going to change. They don't do things smart on a massive scale in the world. Like it's all just kind of a clusterfuck.
Yeah. That's oh, sorry. I just looked. We're about to attack somebody.
But I thought the war was over.
Uh Pizzato Pizza spiked 100%.
Uh-oh.
Domino's by the Pentagon spiked 100%. Uh Nighthawk Brewery and Pizza spiked 97%.
The old pizza index, you know,
Yep.
it's never wrong.
Yeah.
It's is just such a fucking nightmare, Like God, I watched Dave Smith and that liberal cuck from Patrick David today on Pierce Morgan, and what a joke. Like the people who are pushing
I
this
saw
war
a clip.
they know nothing about what's going on. Like it's just all feelings. And a lot of it is
Yeah.
just a default I love Israel sentiment.
Yeah, the dude was like, "Well, you're acting like you're 17." And Dave goes, "Wait, I'm 17. I have a wife and a kid and people that I take care of.
Yeah.
Who do you have to worry about? Your mom?" And then this guy goes off for 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
he didn't make any points about
None.
literally nothing, not
None.
a single point at all. And I'm like,
He was like,
now
Coleman
I
Hughes beat you in a debate. That's all I
yeah,
need to say.
now I
Okay.
understand why they had to take Dave off his skanks.
Yeah.
The get raped quick by the big dick Dave Smith.
Yeah.
He's out there raping these guys.
Oh shit. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. It was, dude. The guy, it's so funny too, but where these people think that, like, I don't know how he thought that was gonna go well for him. I went on to his Twitter and he like did a tweet about it. And like the tweet barely got any traction at all. Like the guy has no following on Twitter. The only reason anybody knows who he is because he's the third wheel on Patrick Beck David, and he's like the token liberal essentially. Like if it wasn't for that, nobody would know who this fucking guy is. He's a loser. He doesn't
Yeah.
know what he's talking about. He's just everything for him is based off of feelings, and there's no facts, there's no arguments. And even Pierce was like, I'm struggling to see what your argument is here. Like, did you bring any arguments to this at all, or are you just defaulting to somebody else made them?
Yeah, I might have to go back and watch that. One of my
It was
investors
fun.
emailed. There's a bunch of all in podcasts last week, so I only watched a few.
Mm.
And one of them emailed and said, "Look, you got to watch this one." So I think I'm gonna do that tonight.
How have they been covering the war?
Um, Objectively, actually, so they've had people on for both sides. Um, it's been pretty objective, but then you have JKL with
Oh,
his
yeah.
opinion is the only one that matters, right? And
He's got to
so
be
he
pro-Israel.
influenced, huh?
He's got to be pro-Israel.
Oh, he's anti-dictator.
Mm. Mm.
And the big and the big guy in Iran, the world's a better place without him. That's all that matters. So
Yeah. I watched this guy on Tucker the other day. He's like some Chinese history professor, and he was just kind of giving his broad overview on like how this is going to cause like a global energy crisis. Essentially, China's going to be in deep trouble. Japan's going to like remilitarize, like a whole bunch of other stuff. And he was saying that I told you this before the podcast, but it's worth repeating. He was saying that there are rabbis in Israel right now that are like, who cares if they bomb us? The Messiah's coming back.
Yeah, this is all part of the plan. Calm down,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah. Oye
yeah,
Vey.
yeah. Oye Vey. That's a good.
It's crazy. Like through my life, I've seen not just well, I've never really studied Judaism, but like looking at the doomsdayers across the world or across Christianity, and there's always these subsects like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
happening any day now. Happening any you ready for the rapture?
Yeah.
Like, no,
Tim
I don't
Dillon's
think I'm done here yet.
Tim Dillon's episode where he's like, "We're destroying the world. Like we don't care about you. We're going to rapture you." It's so funny, dude. He went on like a 10-minute rant about the rapture. And like I watch it, I'm like, dude, he's so fucking good at this. There's just nobody better at it. He's so
He
funny.
is.
Oh, it's funny,
So
Civilization is getting boring. We're just gonna go back to the Pleistocene where we were all designed anyways. Let's let this company, bring back the mammoths and the dire wolves and let the AI take over and watch us from space and we'll just go back to the ice age. It'll be fun.
come on, it'll be fun. Um, I just like it's super curious what's gonna happen because it seems like Israel has lost a lot of support.
Oh yeah,
Just
big time.
and not even like taking a side on it, just like how do they continue to in 5 years will they be able to operate the way that they're operating now? And they're losing the script so bad that they're like just trying to go after anybody who says anything even remotely. I wouldn't even call it anti-Semitic. Just like ask any questions, and they have that. Did you see that sheriff in Michigan?
Mm-mm.
So some dude took the sheriff's picture, put a Star of David on his head, and gave him the
The curls.
Ziegler's eggs. And the dude, and they arrested him. The
Oh
guy that
wow.
posted the meme. How is that? How does that help? How does that help them say, you know, yeah,
They hurt his
or like
feelings.
how do you like how do you so somebody says, hey, these people are overrepresented in this area, like banking, and then you deplatform them and they can't get bank accounts.
And typically,
What does
like
that prove?
there's been a couple of different people arrested for similar shit to this in the last couple of months. And typically, it's like the sheriff does a Facebook post. Somebody
Mhm.
comments on the Facebook post with a meme that gets like
Yeah.
5 likes.
Yep.
And then they show up at their house because they have hurt
Yeah,
feelings.
and now
You
it's
know?
national news.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really ridiculous. Like you've got these cops who are supposed to be tough guys, that are we're here to protect the Constitution. I've got for the people tattooed on my arm. And meanwhile, you posted a meme on my Facebook and I'm gonna show up and arrest you. Dude,
Yeah.
like the Afro Man case was so fucking
Oh,
funny.
that
Like,
was my favorite thing
oh
last week.
my God. Like unbelievable. Like these cops were embarrassed by these songs that he made. And like nothing that Afro Man did will be more embarrassing to that guy than him saying, "I don't know if my wife is cheating on me with you."
Yeah.
Like that clip is going to live on the internet forever. That is you forever. And like
Yeah.
nothing, like I didn't even know about this Afro Man case until it got
Yeah.
big last week. Like nobody outside of your like small area even knew this was happening, but your feelings got hurt so bad that you had to make it national news and now you have to live with this forever, you piece of shit. Fuck you. I'm glad that you guys got destroyed in court. Like I was kind of
And,
surprised that
and
he won, actually. I thought that he was going to lose, but you know what? There
well,
are
it
there
was
are
a
still some
jury.
American juries out there.
No, it was a jury. And then did you see that the judge made Afro Man pay for half of the case?
No, I didn't.
The judge rigged it or tried to rig it as hard as he could,
Uh,
and Afro Man has to pay for half of all the legal fees, even though he won.
Jesus.
And
That's
for the
freaking
audience, in
crazy.
case you aren't just like deep in the internet like us, some I'm not sure the exact circumstances, but to my understanding, somebody lied or gave false witness, and the police came into raided Afroman's house with ARs and shit at 5 in the morning. Um, and to about sex trafficking and narcotics,
Mhm.
which he had marijuana, which is legal in Ohio.
Mhm.
So like there was nothing,
And it was personal
and
use.
for his personal use. And the series of follies that the police did, one of the cops had his AR, like lets it rest on his sling, picks up and eats a piece of pound cake,
Yeah.
and he has it on camera. So Afro Man made a song about that. He claimed that this one lady that lied a bunch, that she ate Afro Man's wife's pussy, made a song about it. And then another cop, he made another song about that. And in the song, he said, and I fucked your wife, basically. So they bring up this cop where Afro Man said, I fucked your wife. And Afro Man's attorney is asking him questions. And he's like, yes. And him saying that he fucked my wife caused damage in my relationship, and listen to the song, it's all horrible. And the guy, and the guy's like, well, did he fuck your wife? Because you're suing for defamation. Like, did he fuck your wife? And the cop, instead of saying no, which would kind of hang him on the hook for defamation, cop goes, I don't know. Why don't you ask your client if he fucked my wife? And they played the songs in
Yeah.
court, and like the people were crying when they heard the songs about
Yeah.
themselves.
Oh my god.
If you have time, I encourage you to go look it up.
Oh,
It will be the most delightful thing you'll do this week.
dude, somebody needs to make a documentary about it.
Yeah,
Put it all into a documentary, cut it up, interview him, and like you would have a banging documentary with that
why doesn't
because
he just do it?
yeah, he could do it. Like
Yeah,
it was so funny. Like
yeah,
you kind of have to, like you said, be deep into the internet and you have to kind of search this stuff out to find all of it or watch like the entire 7 hour freaking, you know, trial or whatever, but like, dude, that would be such a good documentary if somebody
yeah,
just cut everything down, got all the good spots, like edited it in the proper way to where it was really funny. Kind of like a Tiger King style documentary where
yes,
this is just about ridiculousness and
yeah,
stupid cops, and it would make for a banging documentary. I hope somebody does that. That'd be great.
yeah. That would be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah. Dude, the songs were hilarious. Look 'em up, Lisa.
Look him up, Lisa.
They're like, "Is that the same chair that she's sat in for her her questioning?" He's like, "Yeah, it is." And they go, "Why did you bring the media with you to the police department when you were getting your money back?" And he was like, "Because I didn't wanna get beat up or Epsteined."
And then they like when he got his money back, they said, you know what, something's missing. He
Yeah.
would have never known.
And dude, why this was my question. Why did they take a suit? What did they need to take a suit for?
Yeah,
Except for the fact that maybe it had money in it. You're looking for
yeah,
kidnapped people and drugs, so you take a suit that
yeah.
apparently you didn't know had money in the pocket. Like, what are you taking a suit for? Like, what does that like, how can that be evidence of anything? It's a suit hanging in his closet. Like, that made no sense to me whatsoever.
What that reminded me of is like how incompetent people are in the show The Office.
Oh, yeah. Kind of,
So
huh?
just like a TV show called The Precinct,
Yeah.
where yeah,
Yeah, man, it was hilarious. Like
yeah,
that was definitely the highlight of last week. Like
yeah,
I wasn't expecting that at all. Like I had seen a YouTube video pop up like Afro Man trial, and I saw the suit he was wearing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'll have to watch that. And then I just kind of forgot about it. And then you
yeah,
texted me about it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta
yeah.
dig
I'm
into this.
going
And
in.
oh, it was worth the couple hours that I put in.
Yeah,
God damn, it was worth it. Oh, man.
yeah.
What else is going on?
Not much. Just I mean, I've been working since I'm rebuilding all this software, and
Mhm.
I'm helping my wife build an operating system for the supplement company. So I've been working 10 hours a day or whatever. Today, I didn't realize that we had the podcast planned for 6, so we went out to the land, I get out there, I'm like, "Oh, fuck." So I just text you.
I'm
We
glad
got
you said
home.
something because for some reason I was thinking 6 my time anyways, so I was
Okay.
already planning for
Yeah.
this time. Like, I don't know
Okay.
what happened to me, so it
Yeah.
actually worked out great because I might not have I wouldn't have been ready at
Oh,
6
cool.
o'clock your time anyway, so it's
Yeah.
all
So,
good.
like,
I'm not
at
worried about it.
6:02, like, we plated our dinner, and I'm like, so it wouldn't have worked out, but,
Yeah.
yeah, just tons of fucking work, and, g dude, the restrictions on words from Facebook regarding advertising
Oh, it's
are
bad.
draconian, and, like, with when we set up the website, we talk kind of in code, like
Yeah.
elevated and shit like
Mhm.
guess what? AI understands that.
Oh, wow.
So, she had to go through I ran the audits for her just because I can get it faster with AI. She had to go through there was, like, 300 things that she had to remove or change on the website and so that Facebook didn't ban her.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, yeah, but,
One
I
of
mean,
the one of the preg catchers that I watch, like, started posting videos to Facebook when YouTube started giving him shit,
yeah,
and, dude, like, Facebook's even more restrictive than YouTube. Like, he can't
yeah,
say anything, he's
nope,
catching these people, and he's like, "This is Joe Blow from, wherever, Montana, and, he got caught looking at things he shouldn't have been looking on. He was talking to somebody that he definitely shouldn't have been talking to, and
yeah.
it's so un-American to watch that, like, this guy who's catching pedophiles, like, they're more worried about what he says about the pedophile than, like, what the pedophile actually did. It's just
Yeah.
it's so un-American. Like, it's really disgusting how, like, these companies and the government have just nerfed the fucking country to a point where, like, this isn't the same country that me and you grew up in as kids. Like, imagine
Fuck no.
like some of the shit that we would say in high school, like, would get us arrested today.
Oh, yeah, especially in Britain, which is coming this way, right?
Yeah.
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 I
Like,
I
I
did
said stuff to
see
teachers that would get me arrested today. I
Oh,
guarantee it.
yeah.
Like, I used to cuss out teachers just because they deserved it, and
Yeah.
I'd call them stupid and, like, dude, like, some of the shit that like, my mom and her husband are, like, very restrictive on their son, and I don't really get into it all that much, but, like, they're at a point now where they won't let him have a phone anymore because he keeps going on YouTube, and I'm like, "What is what's the problem? Like, what's he gonna
Yeah.
see on YouTube that he can't
Now he's
see?"
gonna get a little sneaker burner, and he's gonna look up Pornhub.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, he cut a line in his eyebrow because he saw somebody do it on YouTube." I'm like, "So what? It'll grow back. Like, who
Yeah.
cares?" Like, I did shit
Wait,
like
with
that when I
clippers in the eyebrow?
yeah.
Not, like, cut his face?
No, like, just
Oh.
clippers in the eyebrows. Like, who cares? Like, what's the
Yeah.
problem? Like, I don't get it, and it's like, when I was his age, I was out by myself on a bike with my
Drinking
friends
out of a water
every
hose.
day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we were sneaking booze, like, you know,
Yeah.
and they didn't give a shit. Like, they didn't care. And I grew up fine. Well, I was a drug addict, but that happens to everybody. Not
Yeah.
everybody, but that happens regardless of how you're raised. Like, I knew people who
Yeah.
were raised very strict that got into that shit way quicker than I did. So it's just one of these things where it's like, I'm not sure that overparenting these kids is good for them in the long run. And like this type of
Oh,
shit didn't happen when I was a kid, you know? Like
yeah.
the kid is like a language police. I'll say something, I'll drop an F bomb while he's over helping in the backyard or something like that. And he, it's like, yeah, dude, it's a word. Fucking deal with
Yeah.
it. Like you're in my house now. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Like
Yeah.
I'll keep my language down when I'm in your dad's house, but this is my backyard. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want, and you can deal with it. Like grow up, And
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like I just I don't think it's healthy for these kids to
Yeah.
be babied as much as they are because like look at what's happening in college. Like these kids show up to college and it's like they've never lived a day in the real world and somebody says something that ruffles their feathers and all of a sudden they're freaking out and crying on the internet.
Yeah, I see college going away very soon,
I sure hope so.
the way that we understand it.
Yeah.
Oh, one win for free speech. I didn't look much at the case, but I saw it while I was waiting for dinner to finish. The Attorney General of Missouri sued the government and the social media platforms
Oh,
about the restrictive policies, and 6 years later they won. So, I mean, the guy in his victory tweet or whatever said, "This seals up free speech, and we're safe and shit." So, I'm guessing part of that's true, but at least there's some progress that way.
yeah. You know, it's I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully, but it seems like it's so entrenched that like we live in a nanny state at this point where, you know, people in my state, for instance, think that they have to be the moral arbiters of what you do in your private life. You're not allowed to watch porn in Idaho right now without a VPN, essentially. Like the main porn sites like aren't allowed to, you're not allowed to get on them in Idaho. Essentially,
Yeah.
it's too bad. You
I
can't
don't
have
know if
porn. It's just
I
like,
just don't partake in it, so I don't know if that
yeah,
affected Tennessee or not.
I don't know either,
Um,
but, like, it's happened in a bunch of states, I can't play one of the, like, I don't really play them anymore, but I used to do these, like, fantasy motocross games where you do
yeah,
fantasy, and, you're not allowed to do those in Idaho anymore either.
that's wild.
It's
Now,
not
my
even there's not
understand
even any money involved, like, you don't pay money to do it. You
yeah,
like, they have winners at the end of the year, like, if you're in the top 5 or whatever, at the end of the year, you get prizes, but it's not gambling, and,
yeah.
like, who cares? If I wanna gamble my money away, that's not your fucking problem. That's my money, I work for it. Like, I
N
can gamble it away if I want to.
I I see the sports betting and the markets and shit as a societal problem. I don't
Sure.
necess I don't eh, I see it as a net negative. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
if
do
it should
too.
be policed or not, but, one on the porn, this was years ago when these laws passed, right? I think that where the porn sites were like, "We're not gonna do that," it wasn't like Idaho was like, "You can't watch porn." It was like, "We want people's ID
Yeah,
verified in their
yeah,
age."
and they're just like,
Porn
"Fuck it, we're
sites were
not
like,
gonna."
"No." Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those things where like you should be able to be anonymous on the internet. I don't want to
Yeah.
have to give you my ID. Like that's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I it's I think it's supposed to be centered around like kids watching too much porn, which they do. Like it's not healthy in any way at
Yeah.
all, but like that's not up to the government. That's for the parents to
Yeah,
do,
they just
you
get
know.
VPNs.
Yeah.
And who owns the VPNs?
Actually something crazy that I didn't know, which is like this is why they had to just get rid of his phone essentially is because they had like parental controls on his phone and then all of a sudden they just went away. They like called Verizon and was like, "What happened to all the parental controls on his phone?" And they're like, "Oh, let's look it up." And they go, "Oh, well, he just turned 13, so he's allowed to decide for himself now."
Hmm.
Which is a little bit crazy. He's 13.
Yeah.
And to me, that like echoes the trans agenda where, if you think you don't want a penis anymore at 13, you should be able to decide that. And we'll just
But you
extend
can't
that to
choose
the
the parent
internet.
that you live with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
an important decision that'll alter your life in ways that we can't measure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit. Ugh. It's really something. We live in a fucked up world, Dan. It's a
Yep.
real nightmare right
Not
now. I don't
I'm
see
getting
this
out of
I don't
here.
see this war going good for anybody.
We won.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Total victory.
The pizza index says otherwise, right?
Nobody's ever won a war like he won this war.
Oh god.
Gonna win Cuba too, he said.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't get rid of all the Mexicans, so let me just take an entire island of them. That'll work out great. Like, can you imagine how much money it would cost to like get that fucking island back on track? My god.
I don't know. Those people live off $160 a year.
Yeah, they do. There's actually a great TV show. I've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's a really cool show. It's called Cuban Chrome, and it's about like in Cuba, one of the best jobs is to have like an old Bel Air or an old convertible Cadillac or something like that, and you run it as a taxi in Havana for all of the rich tourists that come in. And essentially, like since they've been embargoed for so long, they don't have parts for these cars. Like, they've been keeping these cars together with baling wire and bubble gum and JB Weld for the past 50 years, 60 years. And, like, it just follows these taxi cab owners and a couple mechanics and like how they keep these cars running. And it's a really cool show because like it shows you like the the horrors of communism along with like human ingenuity and then also like how the embargo affects them. It was a really cool show that like didn't aim to show all of those things, but you kind of like get it
Yeah.
all in the microcosm of this show about cars, essentially. And I
Yeah.
thought it was a really cool show. They only did like 2 seasons of it. I'm sure it was really hard to shoot because you've got American production companies and, having to go to Cuba. And I'm sure that the government was not happy about that show. And when you got a big company like Discovery that's heavily influenced, oh, it wasn't, I was watching a show the other day and National Geographic is advertising for vacation packages on on TV shows right now. That's how bad these mainstream media outlets are doing. Is now they're advertising for vacation packages because nobody buys our shitty magazines anymore.
That's pretty crazy. Imagine, let's just say we take over Cuba in whatever way, they just give up, and then we just drop some fucking Teslas off to them.
Yeah.
And you go, the fuck?
Good luck keeping those things charged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, at least we'll get some good cigars coming in though, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
And
see.
rum. Dude, because England still trades with Cuba, or did when I lived there. I went to the grocery store. The neighborhood I was in was like this really posh, rich neighborhood. And we didn't have a grocery store. We had a department store with a grocery store in the basement. And I wanted to drink one weekend. It was Friday night. So I go down in there and all the fucking whiskey and shit was fucking 60 pounds or more. And I look and rum, $8 or 8 pounds. I'm like, let's do this. It was Cuban rum. It was the best rum I ever tasted. And it was
Really?
$8. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It,
didn't
it
have
was
any of the bullshit in
hands
it.
down better than anything I'd tasted in America.
I knew some people when I lived in San Francisco that had spent some time in Cuba, and they fucking loved it.
Yeah.
They said it was
The people are
awesome.
great, I hear. The people are just like
They said the
making the
beaches were
best of what
great,
they
the
do.
cities were cool. They said the food was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, those poor people have been, figuring it out for 50 years and they're still happy, which is more that can be said for a lot of people in America right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really what I'm trying to do is like get out of the city, grow food, and like everything that was marketed to me as undesirable as a kid.
Mhm.
Very interested in now.
Yeah. That guy on Tucker was saying that he thinks that cities are going to be depopulated over the coming years because of that exact thing. That cities are becoming too crowded, they're becoming too expensive to live in. They are essentially just hellscapes at this point. They're
Yeah.
dangerous. And then the governing bodies that control these cities don't give a shit about the people that live there. They want to bring in people from third world countries. And he was saying essentially like you're gonna see like what did he call it? I don't remember, but like a rural explosion or something like that, where people are going to move back out into the country, grow their own food,
Oh,
kind
you
of
can see it
generate their
here.
own
Like
energy.
I probably got a 1 in 500 property.
Yeah.
And you have to go like an hour and a half to get anything reasonable. So it's definitely happening here.
Yep. And it's good that like I'm not a huge fan of solar energy. Like I think there's good places for it and there's bad places for it. Like you have to have the right house, you have to have the right property, you have to have, like the way they sell it is like you can just put it on your roof and you're never going to have to pay your energy bill again. Where in a lot
Yeah.
of places like they are in Idaho for instance, they're no longer paying for solar energy because our grid can't support it anymore. There's so
Yeah.
much of it on houses around the areas that like it's too variable and the power companies just can't fucking bring it online whenever they feel like it anymore. Like
Yeah.
back when it was a novelty and very few people had it, like it was easy to just add it into the grid, but now it's just too much and they can't do it. And like my house, you couldn't really put it on the roof because I don't have like the south facing portion of my roof does this. So you would
Yeah.
have it, get it in the afternoon on one side and the morning on the other, and you're not like fully using all of your
Yeah.
panels. But if I put it where my garden was at, then I would have it, all the time. But I don't want to take up my yard with solar panels. But where you're living, you've got plenty of space out there. And it, as long as you've got some south facing, area to drop your panels on, like you can keep them out of the way and just run lines to your house and be good.
Yeah. There's a startup in Austin, and it's only in Austin now, to my understanding. But basically, they give you a battery for your solar, and they draw from it when electricity is really expensive, and they let it fill up, and you can use it on your house. And you cut your power bill down to nothing,
Mhm.
and they're taking it and they're feeding data centers with it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I heard an interview about it like 6 months ago,
I saw
but
something that was pretty interesting the other day. It was a Bitcoin mining rig that
from the
runs
hot water,
yeah,
it
runs a hot
heats your
water
water.
heater.
Yeah,
Yeah, which I thought
yeah,
was pretty cool. It's electric, which it kinda has to be electric to do that. Like, it would be hard to build a
yeah,
gas one, but if you're running solar panels to your house, like that's an option.
yeah,
And I think it's pretty cool that these companies are you could do it with AI as well. Like if you're running a big,
yeah,
if you're running a big model at your house or something like that and you've got a dedicated server for it and it's running a lot of heat, you can pump that into an air pump or into a hot water heater and lower your electricity bill and gain AI data or whatever the hell you're doing with it.
yeah. One thing that I'm looking into for the place is geothermal cooling and heating.
In the floors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what they do for people who don't know is they run water lines through your floors, essentially.
Oh no, no, this is different.
Okay.
They put something under the ground where the ground's a consistent temperature,
Mhm.
and you have a heater, air conditioner, and since that temperature is so consistent, it's much cheaper
It's a
than
heat pump.
running it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, some of those work, some of those don't. It depends on the area that you're living in. Like, they're good in temperate regions, but I have heard that when it gets really cold, they don't produce well, and when it gets really hot, they don't produce well. So you're kind of
okay,
like as long as
yeah,
you're in a very temperate area where you don't get too hot or too cold, they work really well, but
yeah.
who knows?
We'll see. I haven't really looked at it,
Yeah, and it
but
would probably also depend on, like, the geography of the area that you're living in,
yeah.
like, what the temperature is underground. I don't fucking know. Do you have a well or anything out there?
We have a well. There's a septic there, but when we had it inspected, it didn't work. It hadn't been
Mm,
used in like 20 years. So we had to file for a permit to fix the septic by putting a new septic in.
eh, well, that's not bad. Septic
Yeah,
tanks work good. I've got a septic in
yeah,
my house. I've never had any problems with it.
yeah.
Well,
All right, man. Well, I got
let's,
to get going.
yeah, let's hit it, man. It was a pleasure as always, and, we'll do this
Yeah,
again in a couple weeks.
yeah, absolutely.
Alright. See ya.